So Andrew Tate is joining us. Interesting that he's a big champion, bare knuckles boxer, all that. I'm not going to start a fight with him, but what I really like is his brain. Andrew is an American British kickboxer from Chicago, Illinois, who competes in the cruiserweight and heavyweight divisions. He's three-time ISKA kickboxing world champion and Infusion Live champion. He is the son of the late chess master Emery Tate, and also commentator for Real Extreme Fighting, the largest MMA promotion in Romania, where it's just bigger than the NFL. In 2016, Tate competed on the 17th season of the British version of the Dutch reality show Big Brother. YouTube, Tate Speech, Twitter, Tate Speech, and Instagram, Cobra Tate, at Cobra Tate, and Tate, SHINKAI.net. So he joins us for the hour, and I said, what do you want to come on about? Because he's a smart guy. And he said, well, whatever you want to cover. But first off, we should get into the attack on, quote, masculinity, toxic masculinity, the attack on the family, and all the other, the Islamification, that's happening everywhere, and what that's about, and why the feminists would embrace that. I see as the only form of toxic masculinity that's basically religious run or state run. It's just a fact. It's a group that will not assimilate. It will make us assimilate. It's like the Borg. You will assimilate. Resistance is futile. So, Andrew, great to have you on, and here in 2019.
Absolutely. It's been a long time, sir. It's been a long time. It's good to be here.
That's a cool place you're in. That looks like a major chick magnet.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to behave myself, but I'm out here in Romania at the moment, which is pretty much Eastern
The women
Europe.
ain't bad looking in Romania.
They're not bad. No, they're not bad. It's Eastern Europe is very ideologically different from Western Europe. Romania is far more likened to Poland or Slovakia or Hungary. So I was unhappy with Western Europe, and I decided to move out to the East. So here I am. What's crazy is to find Western culture, you've got to go to the East now. Well, this is the most crazy thing. The craziest thing about Eastern Europe, the reason there's such a big cultural divide is they tried socialism less than 20 years ago. Socialism's been tried, and within living memory has failed. And everyone knows how much better their life is under capitalism. As well as that, they're extremely nationalistic. In Romania, for example, 99% of people are Romanian. They're not open to the idea of having their culture diluted by people from anywhere else. They want a strong border around their country. They don't agree to Schengen. You can drive from England through France, through Belgium, into Germany. As soon as you get to Romania, there's a nice big border check. They're not letting anyone in without checking who they are. They don't accept migrants and refugees. So they're completely different from the West. And it's very interesting, the European Union, obviously they've joined it and they're taking a whole ton of money from Germany. But at the same time, they're completely resisting the important legislation in regards to preserving their country. So I respect them for that. And it's really refreshing. I mean, the Christmas market here in Romania last month is right next to a main road that has no walls, no barriers, no armed police, and there's no threat of violence, and nobody dies.
But flesh that out for folks that aren't in Europe. They've had to build these so-called freedom barriers all over Germany, Sweden, France, because you have any gathering, especially a Christian gathering, there will be men in trucks running people over, screaming Allah Akbar and the Caliphate, but none of it has anything to do with Islam.
Well, this is the absolutely most crazy thing, because I was discussing this with somebody, and I said, look, if it's nothing to do with Islam, my question is as follows. I'm not saying every Muslim is a terrorist. I'm saying that every terrorist is a Muslim. So there must be some degree of link there.
Yeah.
The fact that the book says we should all be killed must have something to do with it. That's the first thing. The second thing is, if Trump's wall is such a bad idea, why are we building walls around our own Christmas markets to prevent ourselves from being mowed down? Terrorists have moved on from bombs and things which are hard to acquire. They now kill you with a knife from a kitchen drawer or a truck. It's impossible to police these things. So now we have to build a wall around any type of gathering. Every single street in London needs barriers along both sides. You're no longer safe to walk down a pavement, and we're building more wall than ever. However, when Trump says build a wall, all of a sudden that's a bad idea. You're supposed to let them in first, then try and wall yourself off from the danger, which is absolutely insane on every level.
Well, you're on fire like last time. Why the hell's it been a year since this guy was on? Talking about toxic masculinity, the globalists are a bunch of hyper-aggressive, dominant males. They put women in as their front groups. clearly, anytime a culture gets conquered, they kill all the males. This attack on males, even it's in the WikiLeaks, it's in the university documents. To build their new world order, their new utopia, they must remove the role of the male from society. And men need to understand this, and women need to get this, that there's no separation between men and women. We are the damn species.
Absolutely. And what happens is when you destroy the males is there's no warriors left. This is the reality. The men do the fighting. Men are the warriors. So it's only when things really hit the fan, when things get at their absolute worst and chaos ensues, you need big, strong men who are going to be capable of resisting absolute conquering. And that's why they intend to destroy us. And they intend to destroy us through a slow, deliberate programming of just ensuring that anything we like, which is overtly masculine, anything that allows us to indulge in a masculine fashion, is seen as absolutely evil in every way.
Anything that builds our masculine power, and because that's what's rewarding, it's what women want, it's what we want. Anything that's fulfilling must be removed.
Yep. Absolutely, because if you're not fulfilled, what do you have left? The only thing you have left is mindless consumerism. If you're not fulfilled and you can't get a girlfriend, and you're miserable within yourself with a low testosterone level, all that's left is finding a way to try and make some money and spending it all on Amazon.com. All it does is make you a little slave to the dollar, so you can spend as much as possible and just earn money in a cycle of nothing. And you don't care about your country, you're not patriotic, you don't care about anyone but yourself. You just become a selfish consumer slave. There's nothing left to you. That's exactly what they want. They don't want big, strong men who free think. We're not good for the system because we can't be controlled, and we have the ability to resist a system.
Well, let's take it. I mean, look, the DMT, LSD addicts in the San Francisco cult that run this country now, they are all chicken neck drug addicts in their own homosexual cult. And I'm not against them because they're gay, but the fact is they see men like us who actually, are operating on the regular programming as an enemy to them. They think we make them weak by our very existence, and so they want to eradicate us. We'll be right back. Stay with us. There's a lot more to it. We'll be right back. By the way, it's not debated that they have huge op-eds. I covered one last week that was in the Washington Post about we have to end masculinity. Men are bad. They're going to cause war. But, the Chi-Coms, though, if you teach that over there, they execute you. But it's in the West. We must do this to demoralize everyone. Well, now this just broke. It's on Infowars.com and Newswars.com. It's on the left-hand side of DrudgeReport.com. ABC News. Marine Corps integrates male and female platoons during boot camp for the first time. In almost any restaurant I go to now in Austin, you go walk in the bathroom, and there's women in there. And, I guess I'm a crude guy. I'm like, okay, screw it. And I go over and start, right in front of these women, but then their kids are in there, and I tell you, it happened to me in Omaha and in Austin the last 2 weeks, and I walked out and just pissed in the parking lot, I'll be honest. No, I did it at home, whatever, I'm not going to lie. The point is that I'm not going in a bathroom with little girls, man. But remember what Cuomo said, though, 2 years ago? He said, we're going to let adult transgendered men who think they're females be in showers with your middle school daughters, or you're bigoted. And if your daughter sees a man's genitals as an offended, she's a bigot. So see, pedophilia is mainlined now, where, he identifies as a woman. So this is their main attack. And I'm glad that Andrew Tate, a four-time world champion kickboxer, one of the main hosts of one of the top MMAs in the world, not afraid to come on this show. He wanted to get into this first and foremost. And I want to be clear. A lot of guys get intimidated by somebody that's a world champion kickboxer. They think, that's a Superman. Or they get intimidated by somebody else because they've got a big radio show. To me, male prowess means being a leader and doing what's right and working hard and standing up for your family. You could be a little skinny guy, you could be a big giant guy. It's about what's in your heart and your mind, and not being a follower and standing up and being willing to fight, whether it's economic, political, physical. It's whatever you got to do. When you know it's the right thing to do, you execute. What is your definition of masculinity and good masculinity?
I think you nailed it absolutely there. You nailed it on the fact that in the human condition, when society collapses, when everything falls apart and there's a hurricane, you need men. What's insane to me is if you look at the reasons they say masculinity is toxic, I would love for them to be saying this when big, strong men are risking their lives going into a burning building to save people. all the things they say about how we are more likely to take risks because of our testosterone, the fact that we value strength over empathy, all these things they say are toxic, yet at the absolute reality of the human condition, when shit really hits the fan, apologize for my language, that's what you're going to need. You're going to need a big, strong man, and you're going to need a man who's going to be afraid, but is going to do it anyway. And this is the reality of being a man. It's about, I'm afraid to do such a thing, but I'm going to do it because I'm a man and it's my role to do so. When you try and remove masculinity, all you're doing is saying, well, you can just act out your feelings. If someone breaks into your house and you're afraid to do anything about it, don't worry. Just let them come and kill everyone in the house. Just sit upstairs and cry about it. And maybe you can go to a little safe space later. As a man, you don't believe in such things. You believe in the reality of the world, in an action and reaction. And sometimes when you're afraid, you have to do the right thing anyway. And this is the reality of the male condition.
And let's expand on that. They're building, they admit, a world free of humans, where we're obsolete, where the robots are there, where everything's crap, where not just men are obsolete, but women, the whole species. And this is the whole push by the technocracy, because they're threatened by the ethos of manhood, of womanhood, and this ancient journey we have together. They're so scared of it.
Absolutely. There's the two things they fear most in the world. One of them is, like you said, the sacred relationship between men and women. This is why they try and attack it from every single angle. I have nothing against gay people. I just don't see why being gay is promoted and seen as better than being a heterosexual.
Oh yeah, it's like some new form of royalty.
Absolutely. Like why does Ellen get a bravery medal for having sex with a girl, and a Navy SEAL has to get shot at to get the same medal? Like, it's insane to me. Like, on what level are these the same events? How are these the same levels of bravery and courageousness? Obama gave Ellen a bravery award, and I was sitting there thinking, what has she done that's brave? I can name you right now, Alex, about everyone in my phone's had sex with a girl at some point. Where's our bravery medals? I don't understand how you can compare it to a Navy SEAL. So they're promoting it as it's above heterosexuality, which is insane, because only heterosexuality produces something. You're only going to produce a child out of love with heterosexuality. Homosexuality doesn't lead anywhere. It's just a hedonistic spiral.
And let's expand on that. And that's a fact. Highest rates of suicide. It's not that we're like, oh, two dudes, we can't, it's so cool or so avant-garde, we can't handle it. It's that highest levels of suicide, highest levels of being alone, and then they blame everyone outside of that culture for the fact that they're so unhappy.
Absolutely. It's criminal. And they want to come along and say, oh, no, I'm happy because I'm persecuted. On what level are you genuinely persecuted for being gay in the West? You can be on TV, you can be famous, you can be open about it. Maybe you'll meet the odd psycho now and then, but I guarantee people like you and me run into more idiots than an openly gay person ever would.